Welcome back to Coding Along, guys. You're watching JavaScript for Beginners Part 7, and today we're talking about Booleans. We're going to discuss the rules, the structure, how to use Booleans, what are Booleans, and all the good stuff about it. In case you hear any loud twitching noise, it is my parrot. He likes making sounds whenever I'm making tutorials. I really don't know why. Maybe he wants me to give him more attention, but yeah, let's get to it. What are Booleans? Booleans are basically values that either represent true or falses. So a Boolean represents a true or false, and they are universally used across all programming language. Why do we use Booleans? We use Booleans to actually evaluate certain circumstances. We use them to evaluate certain conditions. And a good example is a validation form. And if you haven't watched my validation video, go check it out. I use a lot of Booleans in that video. But yeah, shameless plug real quick. A validation form, basically, what you do with a validation form is that you have different circumstances, and the Boolean form is going to either give you a true value or false for those circumstances. And for each true or false, you have a certain code that is going to get called or a certain code that is going to run whenever those circumstances occur. So that's a really basic way of explaining Booleans in a very simple way. Now let's get to writing some code. Now we have var, and just so because we're going to console.log all this, oh, you know what? I might just write it in the document instead. So we have var I am vegan. And if you think I'm vegan, maybe I am, maybe I'm not. Or maybe I switch. Never know. I think that's allowed too. Yeah, let's get back. So I am vegan. Var I am vegan is equals to false. Oh no, let me put it true. Var vegan is equals to true. So now if I say document dot write I am vegan. You see? True shows up in our document right here. Now I can switch up I am vegan. I am vegan is equal to false. And let's see what happens. And then in my document again, the document.write I am vegan. Now we see its truth appears right after the false that was there. We can use what we learned earlier. We can use this and just put a comment, and you can see now that's turned to a comment, and we only see the false. So now it shows I am vegan, and that equals false. Another way we can do it is we can concatenate a string, or we can say am I vegan? Am I vegan? As a question. Wow, I can't find my question mark. Wow, there you are. And now when we say, it says, am I vegan? And we could also add a space here because this is a space basically. Yes, we have to add the space to it. Am I vegan? And it shows false. Now we can switch it up a little bit, and I can comment this I am vegan part. And when we do this again, it says true. Wow, now I'm vegan. Switched it up. I'm no more vegan. Shows false. So this is what we use Booleans for, is that we can basically use them to determine different conditions. And we can switch it up a little bit. Now this was a nice, but let's go to the console now, because we're going to log some things here. We're going to evaluate different values. So we can say it's 10, put in our console, less than 20. And when we do that, it shows us true. 10 is less than 20. Now we can say it's 10 greater than 20, and it shows us false. 10 is not greater than 20. What we can also do, this is a greater than sign used as a Boolean, and the less than sign also used to do what Booleans do, which is evaluate different conditions or different circumstances. But if we say 10 is 10 equals to 20, wow, we get an, an error. And let's look at this error very well. Read it. Don't be scared of errors. Actually understand what they mean. They're helping you. Invalid left-hand side in assignment. And what does this mean is that this sign right here is an assignment. And we talked about this in the earlier tutorials videos. And what this does is it stores values inside a variable. So if we said here console.log Sam 20, now you see 20 shows here. And what's also I can just take this right here, copy it, put it here, and then all I need to do right now is just do this, and it's the same thing. It shows 20 when I console.log Sam because I've assigned this 20 value to this variable name called Sam, which is my name. We can say Sam, which is 20 value, is Sam equal to 10. And when we check that, we get it false because Sam, which is 20, is not equals to 10. But if we say is Sam equal to 20, you can say, yeah, we get a truth. It also shows that, oh, Sam is actually equal to 20. You understand? So this is another thing we use Booleans for. The other thing we use Booleans for is that they can also be they can be used to evaluate truth or falsies. And you can call them like, this is what I mean by that when I mean they're used to evaluate truth or falsies. So we can console.log and we call Boolean, and then we put it here. And if we put a 10 here, what do we get? We get truth. If we put Sam here, we get a truth. If we put is 7 greater than 10, false because that's not it. But with this here is when we put a 0, because it's showing us that when we put a 10, it's showing us, yeah, this is true. 10 is a digit. It is a number. We can also try a string and say, what's up, amigos? And it shows us true too, because this is a string here. But when we put 0 here, it shows us true because 0 is under quotations, which is a string. But when we put 0 as its own, it shows us false. So 0 is the only value that actually shows false. All of the values shows true. 0 and -0 show false. And this is just something good to know about Booleans, is that this is how they work in JavaScript. And yeah, that's about it. Another thing I just really want to touch on is this is OR. And what we can say here is Sam, let's console.log this. We can say Sam equal to 10, or Sam is equal to 20. Okay, I didn't put double, should be double. Or is Sam equal to 20? Or is Sam equal to 20? I didn't put a double there, that's why it didn't work. And it shows us true. And this is what OR does, is that OR basically says one of this has to be true. If I change this to 10, it will show us false because none of them are true. So this is what the OR Boolean does, is that one of any, you can have 20, 30, as far as one is true, it will return true. Next one we have is and is written like this. And this means that both of them have to be correct. So in this case here, it will show us false. If we change it to 20 and the other to 10, it will still show us false. Until both are true, that's the only time it's going to return true. As we see here, it returns true. That is and. And the last one we have is not. 20, we get a false because this is true. This is actually true, so we get a false because that's what the not does here. It basically only is true when something is false. And you will understand it when we continue this series. Just wanted to go over the Boolean values. Hope you understood what we just covered in this video. Please give a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel. And yeah, see you in the next video.